Welcome to the Great American Crawl, kicking things off this year with a doubleheader here in Texas.
We're starting things off at Wolf Caves.
Coming back to Texas, I've been to K2 before. First time coming out to Wolf Caves. Super gnarly, super awesome park. The grip here is insane compared to what we have here, where I have in Michigan and kind of the East Coast, what we're kind of used to. It's pretty much flat for the most part. You have obviously the elevation changes when it comes to like your features and your obstacles out in the park. But for the most part, it's green trails kind of bouncing around to showcase everything so anyone can kind of pick and choose your poison in a way of how hard you want to go.
The rocks here are very like sandpapery. They're really grippy. It's dry. It rained for a little bit for I think 2 hours overnight, and it was still dry and super grippy, and it was awesome. It was definitely a 180 from my East Coast stuff where it's all wheel speed, and out here someone said bump it, and I'm like, there's no way, I'm not gonna break a shaft out here because it's gonna hook and it's gonna break something.
I will say it was much more easier having all that traction compared to some of the stuff that we've been doing. I felt a little bit more comfortable actually hitting the trails and having Bill there to spot me.
The grip is very similar, and everything about these two is very technical, slow going, good suspension, good tires, good everything, and a good spotter.
So yeah, first day, T-Rex. Dude, when I rolled up to you guys, everyone was just kind of like willy wonkied all over the place. So I'm sitting at the bottom, I'm just like, what, where, how, what are we doing?
And I was at the very top holding all of it up, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna jump right into the fire.
Right into it.
You know, and T-Rex is a cool obstacle. I really, really like it. I mean, you get back in there and you've just got, like Volkswagen size of boulders fields that you're climbing through to get up in there. And you've got, I'd say, 3 different lines in there. Depending.
Well, one line's pretty much a buggy line.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, we have a couple lines. The thing is like the rocks, they just want to roll.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could be up there tearing it up and just screw it all up for the next guy
behind you. Oh, 100%.
You know. Hey, I didn't have any problem. I didn't have my Jeep, but my 2 legs walked right up that thing.
Yeah, luckily that was an easy fix on mine. Yeah, we did get in there. We were having a front locker issue. Luckily, it was a super simple fix, just changing a pin, and then we were good to go.
But it did take a while.
Yeah.
We had David out here, we had Bill out here, and actually seeing David go out and try some of these gnarly obstacles, he was killing it.
He did both days, or actually every day.
The entire weekend, yeah. The entire week that we had out here for both parks, David was out there killing it. Yeah. Like he tried the gnarly stuff, tried the gnarly lines, and kind of maybe got a little bit out of his comfort zone. It was really, really cool to see.
He put that thing in spots that, of course, he probably had Bill pushing him a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the only way you're going to get better, right? Kudos to him.
And we pulled up to that, and I'm like, you go up there? He's like, yeah. Now, when he got up there, he had rear locker issues.
Yeah.
Rear locker still ain't working. Let's see if the locker works now. That one turning, Heather? We got the locker working.
I told him to give one good bounce, and he bounced it. I said, hey, your locker's working. So now you can go. And he did. He climbed right up it. But he's a great guy to wheel with because he really listens to you and he trusts his rig. So, yeah, he really turned it on this week.
All we need is just get a little slap.
But buddy, I'll tell you what, the 2 doors on that climb,
They fought.
they were feeling,
Yeah.
they were feeling sporty.
They were feeling every bit of that.
Robert, man, the guy will put his rig in situations that I wouldn't. Like, I'll just be honest, like he's a lot more comfortable in his rig than I am. But he went up through there, he moved that boulder, and it was probably the size, it was bigger than a pickup bed. We blame Andy and Nick, but really it was Robert right in front of me that moved that boulder that put me in that situation. It was, pulled it out of the garage Sunday, washed it for the first time, and crossed my fingers and hope that it holds together. So, yeah, it was, we went 200 yards, and then it was one of the hardest obstacles in the park.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. I had it made, and then I couldn't get it stopped.
We got you hooked on this side so we can pull you hard that way.
So Nick was basically spotting everyone, and I put more trust than I thought I ever would in Nick. But no, he got me off of it. I looked down, I never looked back to see how far up in the air I was, but I did, out of the corner of my eye, see Dennis standing down at the bottom with the camera, and I thought, oh, this is not good. But we got off of it, and we actually made the obstacle.
So yeah, I mean, you know, we had Jake out here, who was one of our new affiliates. He's up in Indiana. Nice LJ, and I mean, I mean, rock buggy went up it pretty easy, but I would have to say, of everybody, Jake was like, why has everybody been screwing around up here, dude?
Yeah, he killed it. He killed it, yeah.
So we started with T-Rex, and it was a bunch of big rocks, and picturing the park, that wasn't exactly what I pictured. It was very giant boulders, and it was very spaced apart, so I was trying to look at it, figure out a line, and I was like, how is that even gonna work? But it did. I had a wonderful spotter, Mr. Nick Ashby, and I was going, and I was like, wow, this doesn't feel great. And he said, keep going, and I said, wow, this really doesn't feel great. I put my Jeep to its limits. I know the funny points of where it feels funny, and I was like, yeah, this feels funny, and that's a long way down. And sure enough, it just kind of went over on its side a little bit, and you just do like turn driver, back up, whatever, and it self-corrects. And
All right, hey, back up.
Nicholas!
Go passengers, you back up. What's up, big dog? Oh, yeah, there it goes.
I'm working on it!
Oh, back up.
So that doesn't count. If you're keeping track of my rolls, it doesn't count. Self-recoveries don't count.
Most guys kind of went on the left side. The way that I took was kind of far right on some boulders and getting it really tippy.
You didn't have to make that turn back.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of part of like the grip that you have out here too. Like these big boulders, yes, they're big boulders and you would think they wouldn't move on you, but with that grip that the tires have, like you're talking about hydraulic steering on some of these rigs, like you can easily move some of these boulders out from under you. And we have some pretty big, heavy rigs, and you're talking about like another boulder that's pretty much almost the same weight as a car moving out from under you. That's pretty gnarly.
I think our biggest problem is we are behind the heaviest rigs and they move everything around for us.
That's
and
it.
then we struggle on it because everybody else moves it for us, you know, so.
You gonna kiss me now or? Ah!
I am not one to put tires on Flag Hill.
If I roll, I'm gonna say I was listening to you. Okay.
It's one where I don't feel like, you know, it's not a catastrophic. I mean, it's not like you're gonna roll away forever if you come off of it.
No, but every rollover is gonna hurt.
Right, and the risk, to me, that's just a risk versus reward issue there. It's like, would it be really cool to get up it? Yeah, but. They got the big old Texas state flag hanging up, you know, at the top of this.
It is cool.
And the entire thing is uphill, off camber, wickedly off camber. It's narrow as hell. So it's like
You have a fence and guardrail.
Yeah, it's.
Am I on the fence?
Every possible thing that could be against you is against you.
So we left T-Rex, right?
Yep.
And went to Flag Hill. And so we watched Nick on Flag Hill. You know, they've got the guardrail and he would get up against the guardrail and Alex is like, man, let's go play follow the leader. I knew when the guy said it, I'm like, no, man, this is a bad idea. But I'm like, yeah, why not? And then Cam jumped in too. She's like, I'll do it too. Alex starts out and it's all good. And we made some pretty good. It wasn't bad, but it was some good climbs, right? Yeah. And then Alex decides to be Alex and puts his tire about 4 foot higher than it ever should have went. And next thing you know, I'm probably, 50 yards behind you. I'm jumping out running because I know this thing's about to go over.
It's like at the point.
It's right there.
It is right at the point. This is why we don't play follow the leader with me.
I'm like, dude, just stop. No, don't move. And so we had to have Cam come around from the other side and hook to his cage to hold him.
I was like, wow, that looks really cool right there. And then everyone was like, stop, time out. Alex is gonna like roll over or whatever. So we need your winch. And I was like, wow, okay, crazy. So we used my winch, pulled him over so he didn't like flop off the side of the rock he was on. And then I think he went 3 feet and then had to hook up again.
Got him out of that. We thought he was home free.
Yeah, because he should have been.
get him off of that, he goes on top of another rock and literally turns on its side under his belly. And we had to hook to the cage a second time.
I've never had myself like spin so quickly.
What it would
spot.
do, it was
like this.
I was sitting there watching it, and what it would do is the front end would touch, and when it touched, the tires were spinning, and then it would just bounce it. Like it was the funniest thing, and I hope it's on video.
Yeah, one more time, back up.
What is going on right now? I've never done that before.
Nah, you still don't. Well, maybe.
And then Cam will come up a different direction, right, to rescue you.
Because that was when she started doing the V-notch.
I forgot about that. I had to stop her.
Yeah, I yelled. I was like, hang on, wait a minute.
I'm like, wait, can you stop right there? I actually asked her, I said, do you feel comfortable where you're at?
Other side.
Careful. Don't come with me.
So that worked out perfect.
She rescued you twice within, what, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that?
She got me a couple times this weekend.
And then here she is.
Getting cattywampus.
Now
right?
she's all cattywampus down in another freaking crack.
Hard driver.
Man, I thought I had it. I really thought I had it. It was going good.
It was.
And then, if I remember correctly, my driver rear tire didn't go up on the V-notch like it needed to. And my front tires were up, it was going. I was like, how cool, I get to show up Alex because he has had to be recovered twice and I thought I was good. And the cockiness got the best of me and that rear tire didn't pick up. And I turned just a little bit and the whole Jeep slid in. And if I don't have to pull cable right away, I'm not going to. And so between my whip light on the C-pillar on the exo cage and what's left of my driver mirror, it kept most of my body off of the rock. And I was like, all right, okay, fine, we can pull cable. I didn't think I was in that rock that badly until I felt the door moving away from me. The winch cable was going and the door was moving away from me because it was just, I guess, hitting the door bar of my cage, and I was like, that's cool.
All right, slow. That was easy.
Did you?
And then I wanted to get back to start, troubleshooting my rig so I knew we were good for the next day.
We ended up going over to Finley's playground. Which again, I'd never been there.
And then you guys kept going.
Yep.
After that.
Ended up going to Finley's and found a nice little obstacle for us to hit over there.
So I seen this big valley. You had to go and drop straight in it and then immediately hard right. I mean, it's the only way to get in it. I told Jake, I go, hey, you can do this. And he goes, oh yeah, I can do that. So he come down in there and drop down in, and so you kind of jockey around, but as you go down and you're making that hard right, your passenger tire is way
up in here.
Way up there. So when you come down it and you're turning, you're like, you know, it's like, okay.
Like you usually do to me.
Yeah, yeah. But they don't get as scared as you. But yeah, so we get down in there, and literally Jake, he crawled in there and just rubbed it. You just got to rub your driver's tire all along that rock. But he got in there, and then there's some boulders in the middle on their way.
And then towards the very end, you have a really steep uphill with a little V-notch going on it. Super, super cool trail.
Thank you.
So then I told David, I go, why don't you do it?
You want rear locker off? Probably.
It was tight. So it was funny because before we left, he's like, my mirror's broken, I'm putting a mirror on. I'm like, yeah, good thinking. So he pulls down in and he goes, I gotta pull my mirror in. And he just broke the mirror, just pulling it in. I'm like, did you just break that? He says, yeah. And it's so floppy. I go, well, it doesn't matter anyway, you probably rip it off. But he got down in there tight.
And then immediately after, we saw David go through, which again, David killing it this weekend.
He took, after someone else damaged the body on theirs.
Exactly. Bill
Good for him.
took him in there, and he honestly did it perfectly.
Yeah, David's been, and David, I would say, just my observation is, you know, watching him from like the first few crawls he went to as he's definitely progressively kicking it up a notch to where, yeah, I'll put tires on that.
Yeah, because he knows who's gonna fix it.
Well, for you to make at least one trip.
I went through there, struggled a little bit, but I ended up climbing the wall like straight up by accident. That wasn't planned. And again, the Mickey's grabbing and like just pulling you up some of the stuff is just insane. Again, you have crazy traction out here. We have great tires. Everything's fantastic for us to like have a really good time out here.
How cool is it to have Mickey here on site? Like,
It is like,
this is the neatest thing.
so yeah, like that's a big thing too. Kicking it off this year, we're having these guys come out here at the first event.
And we had Robert and Michael and Mark, all three of them show up. They're
Big help.
Putting tires on site for people.
Yep. I think Lily went next. Lily went.
Really? Lily.
But after seeing David go down it and seeing his setup on the JK, I was like, maybe I could give it a try. And since Bill was already down there spotting, I was like, I'll be all right. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a try.
So she knew what she was getting into.
Oh, she knew. She's seen it. And so she's like, yeah. So she goes over and she's so all excited,
Oh, yeah,
big
she
smile.
always is.
You know, she's like, this is gonna be fun. I'm like, okay. You know, like, okay, what do you think?
And you have about 3 centimeters before you hit a giant wall, and you need to like completely 90-degree twist your vehicle.
So we were just able to pull that front end over just enough to clear a bumper. And as soon as we got the bumper cleared, she dropped down into it.
Guys, I'm like literally falling out my Jeep here.
Lily was actually almost on her side. She was about 2 fingers away from the hood and the entire driver's side laying into the rock face.
I can't imagine being brave enough. Like if I took my daily driver that I drove to work every single day and put it in that situation. No way that's going to happen.
And
like I couldn't do it.
Smiling through the entire thing.
Oh yeah,
you know,
that's
Lily,
all she
positive.
does is smile. Like
So
I think
positive.
she's probably when she's sleeping, she's smiling. But she doesn't have a bad day, you know.
I'm like, I'm gonna do everything you tell me to do. So having him right there, just in my ear, telling me, hey, you need to do this, stop. And he said, take it slow. Easy.
Get that vehicle out of there and back in, but I obviously can't drive my line out, so I was.
And at the end, she just walked right out of it like it was nothing. And then she gets out, and then you realize that the rear fender is missing all its paint.
Yeah, I will say this though, having Cam around, it is like, oh, what's a few scratches nowadays? It's like, hey, you know, that's street cred these days. I think
We're pro raisins.
I don't know about that yet. I haven't worked up to pro raisin.
It only takes about a year.
Ryan Norwood wanted to try it, and he pulls down in there, and I knew it was already going to be tough just because of the bumper.
Yeah.
David has a frame chop Tomahawk.
Yeah.
It saves a lot of room. Everybody else, normal bumpers. And he comes down in there, and he's got these big tow hooks stick out the front of his bumper. I mean, it just...
Try backing up, maybe?
And he was so close. I go, hey, just stop. I went and I stuck my finger and I go, you have a finger between your cow and this wall. Don't go no more. You know, I think that was out of his comfort zone.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, it was out of his comfort zone, but he dove down in there.
And then we have Cam come in and put it on her side right next to right after.
No.
For Cameron Hooper? Yeah, her confidence comes from a Ouija board.
Well, I was like, it looked really cool and I wanted to try it. And I know personally, my front bumper, I get hung up a lot on that when it comes to walls. So I'm already dropping into this knowing my front bumper is gonna hit the wall. And it just wasn't working out. So I ended up fully backing out of the trail and getting myself like literally parallel to the trail. So when I did drop in, it was a little more kind of tippy, but it got me away from that wall and it was able to drop in. And Bill was like, go this way. And I was like, you know, this way looks really cool. So I ended up going this way.
She, again, I think she's blind in one eye. Because she's like, well, I'm just gonna climb this wall and try to go around all this.
No winching, it doesn't count as a flop. The boys helped, they pushed me back over, it was good.
Was it intentional?
I don't think it was planned, no.
Sometimes I wonder.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever seen her winch out of something is when it was upside down.
Yes.
And then I listened to Bill after I not flopped and went the way he said to go. And I think that ended up working out.
She's very entertaining to watch.
She's a heck of a driver. Like she knows every square inch of that rig. She knows what it'll take, what it doesn't want, and she uses
when
that
something's
thing.
wrong.
Yeah, she uses
and gets
that
annoyed
thing.
by
Like,
it.
She has a personal relationship with that rig, and man, she is phenomenal to watch her wheel. It really is.
It's been on its side twice today.
And recovered twice.
Self-recovered, I know. I really didn't think we were gonna get out of that one.
It was looking pretty hairy. You had some help from your friend.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I was like, wow, this is really easy for some reason. But
Good work.
Yeah, day one was definitely fun for sure.
My mom texted me, she's like, how's Texas? And I'm like, man, Texas is hard. It's so different. I'm currently learning how to wheel with different gears right now. I went from Yukon 488s to 538s. And it's a big jump, and with a stick, it's weird. I'm relearning how to drive right now. So if I'm stalling a lot,
That's all you kept count.
you cannot say anything because I'm explaining to you why. But it was really cool. Everything had grip to it. You kind of point your tires, and it just kind of creepy crawled up, and it was good.
I think we all had a pretty good time, kind of kicking things off, setting the pace for the weekend.
Everybody loves to be here. Like, it's a group of people that we do this because we have a passion for it. You know, it's a unique experience. I feel privileged to be part of it. You know,
You made me cry.
Man, I'm sorry. That's how I feel. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love doing this. Like and just to see the new people like Jake. Man, Jake is. I knew Jake before all this. One of the best guys you'll ever meet.
So yeah, I mean, it was a great day Thursday, and we were looking forward to getting into Friday because we were expecting even bigger numbers. Another day at Wolf Caves, and man, we were ready for it.
We're ready for it.